Please welcome our guests this morning, Kelly Kapple and Miriam Haugen on The Experience, live with Russ Scott.
Welcome to The Experience, live with Russ and Scott.
Join us every Wednesday at 7 a.m. Pacific Daylight Time on LinkedIn, YouTube, and Facebook.
The Experience is made possible by these great sponsors. The Aspects of Aging weekly talk show, unscripted conversations with experts, each week hosted by Christine Smith on AgingBetterNetwork.com. The Jalad Home Team, Keller Williams Realty Mid-Willamette, 541-451-2211, TeamJalat.com. Realistic Replicas, transforming metal into living art, RealisticReplicas.com.
Hey,
and now your host.
That's it, Mr. D. Scott Smith and me, Russ Hedge. We are happy to be with you every Wednesday, 7 a.m. Pacific Daylight Time. You know what? This is such an amazing experience, and I've just had this overwhelming feeling today, Scott. I'm just going to keep saying it because I just believe it to be true that God's going to do amazing things today. And, you know, we have amazing opportunities in front of us every day, but I especially love the days I get to be with you, Scott, and do these shows with amazing people like Miriam and Kelly that we have on today, right?
Absolutely. You know, we've got the Experience Local on Mondays, which is a fabulous time. We get to hang out. That's a new show. So now I get to spend more time with Russ, which is a blessing for me. And we get to talk to wonderful Christian business owners here in the Willamette Valley and learn so much from them. And then today on The Experience, we've got two wonderful people, Kelly and Miriam. I've known them for a long time, and I'm still learning more stuff, and we're going to learn more today.
Yeah, and you know, they're both local, even though this show is worldwide, but Miriam is part of the Global Tea Break, has been for a long time. And, you know, we got to invite Kelly on to the Global Tea Break too. But you know what I love about Monday's show, and I want to tell everybody, The Experience Live with Russ and Scott has expanded to Mondays, 9 a.m. Pacific on The Experience Local. And you may think, well, it's local for them, so it doesn't really mean anything to me. No. First of all, amazing opportunities on that show. And we're trying to inspire and encourage you to remember that even though we have this amazing global community, don't forget to think local and support your local businesses and the people in your community, just like we do in ours. And it's a good example for you. We love to have you on. One beautiful thing too is it does also broadcast on radio, and part of that radio, the two stations we broadcast on, KWIL and KYKN has a worldwide reach on their radio as well. And it all translates, by the way, everybody, to podcasts, just like always, audio podcasts for Scott and I. So not only can you watch so many ways, you can listen so many ways, live, you know, on replay, on audio. And that's one thing I love about all of this, Scott, is there's so much opportunity for people to catch amazing people like Kelly and Miriam that there's no reason not to drop in. And with that,
Absolutely.
Before you say something, I know you got something to say, but I got to get this in because I'm going to forget. And that is, don't forget, everybody, that Scott has created this amazing, this amazing landing page, the local.theexperience.video, which goes back to all of this and Scott and I and all this information and even a couple of our books. And so if you want good information on us, just type in local.theexperience.video. But if you want to go straight to our YouTube page and subscribe, which we would love for you to do, go to theexperience.video. That's simple. So Scott, take it away.
Well, I was just thinking about those replays. You want to go and subscribe to the YouTube channel and have that available because there's a great archive of knowledge there. And today, listening to Kelly, you might get some tips and you go, now, what was that she was talking about? Because money can be a huge source of stress in your life. Well, get some tips from Kelly and learn how to take care of things. And you're going to go, what is that? Or I want to share it with somebody right there on YouTube. And maybe Miriam with personal branding. And, you know, a lot of people in today's world, they take pictures, but I'll say very few people take photographs. And having a professional on the backside of the camera makes a huge difference. And so we're going to learn a lot today.
Oh my goodness. We definitely are. And so I just want to encourage everybody to do a couple things today. Okay, right now, for those people that are watching, let people know what's happening. Let people know what's going on and share this out. If you would be so kind, share. Just get it out there so people know, because we're busy. We're busy. We need reminders. I love when people share and tag me and do things. Tag your friends today. Let them know, because it gives you opportunity, a reminder of what's on and what's available. So please do that today, because if you're in the insurance or financial arena, or you're worried about photography and personal branding, today is going to be amazing. So you want to tune in for that. So Scott, what do you got going on this week before we get our guests in here?
Well, one of the fun things is I'm a part of the preaching team at our church, and I'll be preaching this weekend. We've been going through promises of God in context. And so it's really fun. I get to introduce a new promise today found in the book of, or this Sunday, found in the book of Jeremiah in chapter 31, verse 31. So you guys can look that up. But it's avillage.church, 10:30 Sunday Pacific time. So for those of you in different time zones, you can translate that out. But avillage.church.
Yeah, that is so, I mean, I'm telling you, nowadays with church, it doesn't matter where you are. If you want to tune in, you can tune in from anywhere. Our church live streams as well. And so it's so much fun to be able to see people, social media, and on YouTube and things like that. I like to watch churches up in Portland and down in California and different areas where people are. And so it's fun. So keep that in mind, everybody. So with that, I think we're just going to get this party started. Scott, what do you think?
Let's do it. Yeah, absolutely. Get the
All
fun
right.
going. The good part. Let's get to the good
Let
part.
the fun times roll. Here we go. Miriam Haugen is a veteran to live streaming, has had her own live stream, is an amazing friend, and my personal branding photographer, everyone. So everybody welcome Miriam Haugen. Here she is.
Hey. Hello,
How you doing,
everyone.
Miriam?
Thank you for that. That's wonderful.
Yeah,
I wanted to put a plug in for that global tea break that Scott was instrumental in getting started. And if you want to meet amazing people from around the world, entrepreneurial type people, the global tea break is really cool. I was in a group this last week with someone from Bulgaria, someone from Austria, someone from Cape Town, South Africa, and it's just amazing. And they're, brilliant entrepreneurial people. So
thank you, Miriam. You're such a valuable member of the community, and that's really what it is. And it's a community. And the Global Tea Break, there's no fees, right? I mean, it's just a chance to get together. And from the very beginning, from the very first edition of the Global Tea Break back in February of 2020, friendships and business partnerships have been forged, and it just does my heart good to see those things happen. So thank you, Miriam.
I want to say one more time before we have Miriam tell us a little bit about herself. That has been a blessing for me. I have been involved in the Global Tree Break since I think number 2, the second meeting, and it has been just a outstanding door opening opportunity for me. And I have worked with so many people, collaborated with so many people on the Global Tea Break. And Scott, I know we've had this in the works, but we got to talk about a book. We got to get the globalteabreak.com book going. So anyway, with that, Miriam, tell us a little bit about Miriam. Who are you? We know how amazing you are, but tell everybody what you're up to these days.
Well, I am, as you mentioned, I'm a photographer. So that I've been doing for many, many years, photographing people of all ages. But I'm very passionate about helping entrepreneurs and small business people. And personal branding is something that I can help with. A lot of people don't even know what personal branding is, and they're very self-conscious about being in front of the camera. That, I think, is the bigger thing than, obviously, I know posing, I know lighting, I have a better camera than your cell phone, but it's also helping to guide you through that process of discovering what is your personal brand and how to tell your story the most effectively. And most people really are very self-conscious about being in front of the camera. They're nervous. They're worried about, maybe that double chin or those wrinkles or the eyelid that droops or whatever. People tend to obsess about things, and they're afraid to get in front of the camera. And that's where I can help. I know how to show you off to your best advantage and help you put yourself out there and be confident.
And those pictures that you take might end up on the cover of a book.
Just might.
That's right, everybody. That is one of Miriam's amazing pictures behind me. And that is so true. In fact, every time Miriam and I are getting ready to take some more photos. And I told her we've got to get a few poses that I can use for my upcoming book, Life Happens and Then You Choose. So we're working on that along with other things. But Miriam, you're amazing and all that you're doing. We're going to get our second guest in the room here. Kelly is a little bit newer to live streaming, but she is an amazing veteran when it comes to, in her young life, she is an amazing veteran when it comes to insurance and financial services. Here she is. Oh, I thought she was there. Kelly Kapple, there she is.
Well,
how you doing, Kelly?
Doing great. I am honored to be on here today with you all.
Well, thank you. You're such a blessing.
I love the backyard picture a little bit when we were in the green room beforehand. You've got some beautiful flowers, some rhododendrons growing there.
Yes. We were blessed last year to be able to purchase a farm property that my husband and I have been dreaming about since we were little. And so this is my second office is being out here.
Well, that is so great.
Yeah. So
what I was gonna say, Kelly, I'll just jump in here and say that the beautiful thing that came out of COVID is everybody getting more time in beautiful surroundings like their home, like yourself, working in more than just a closed-in little cubicle. And so give everybody a little snapshot about yourself, Kelly. Who are you and what are you up to?
Yeah. So in a nutshell, first and foremost, I am a follower of Jesus Christ, and I am a wife to a wonderful husband of 8 years, and we have two vivacious little boys, 11 months old and 2.5 years old. And my husband and I own a business together, which is Kapple Insurance Agency. We operate under Country Financial, providing insurance and financial solutions to people, and just really helping people to protect what they have and prepare for the future. And outside of that, we love just being on our property and getting to do some homesteading. So we do that a lot, all four of us together.
Yeah, well, that's amazing. I don't know about you, Scott, but I grew up similar to Kelly on acres and acres of property, and it's so great to get a chance to, enjoy nature in all that we're doing. And Scott, I know that you have not lived smack dab in the middle of the city a lot of your life too.
Yeah, we've always had lots of space around us, and it's just one of those great opportunities living here in Oregon. And Kelly, tell us a little bit about how you decided to get into insurance.
Yeah, it's a bit of a funny story because I was not planning to. I knew from a very young age that I wanted to be a business owner, and that was something that I was very, very set on. But I thought it was going to be more around horses or art or something like that, or potentially farming because I love farming as well. But none of that pays the bills well unless you're doing it on a mass scale. And so at the time, I was graduating college, getting ready to be married, and looking to put my husband through the next few years of his school. And so at that point, I was looking for just an interim position to kind of help financially. And so I went to a career fair and ended up submitting a resume with a state farm agent and getting hired there, doing sales and marketing, which I love, and so that just started my career in insurance, and I more or less haphazardly fell into it, just thinking, oh, it's going to be an interim thing, just kind of like get my feet wet in like sales and marketing, so that I can then pursue my own business. And 2 years later, after being in that industry at State Farm, I decided, okay, I have to make a decision here. What am I doing with my life? Am I going to pursue something totally different? Am I going to continue on this path? Am I going to open up my own agency? And so after a lot of thought and prayer and digging into various other aspects, I decided to reach out to Country Financial, who had been kind of like knocking on my door, so to speak, for 9 months. I finally answered the call and was like, okay, interview me. And so after a couple of interviews with them, they offered me the position, and I've been now with Country for 6 years, and I was able to bring my husband on to work with me 2 years ago. So it is an official family business that we've got going on, along with our 3 employees.
I love it. I love it. And was Kendall the manager at the time?
She was, yes.
Yeah, she's got a great story, by the way. She was a basketball player at Corbin University and got in, and she worked the ranks up, and she is, I believe, working in the headquarters now.
Yeah, she is.
Yeah.
Yeah, one thing I got to say that I loved it, Kelly. Back when you got started, I was already hanging around Country Financial as I was, in a business that was able to call in you guys and be there and make friends and just have a great time with such an amazing organization. And Kendall at the time was just an insurance agent. I don't mean just, but she had her agency in Lebanon and then moved to heading the Oregon or this area based out of Salem, and then jumped to headquarters as a vice president. So yeah, she's definitely moved up quickly. And I don't know, Miriam, with all that you're doing, you've been able to interact with a lot of these people through networking and chamber events and things like that. And how important is it to people like Kelly in insurance and other industries like that to really get that personal brand? Because Kelly's got such a great personal, natural brand. How important is that?
I wanted to say that I think Country Financial is just the perfect fit because she is a country girl, and Kelly really gets the whole branding thing, the personal branding. One of the things that we really like to do is think about what stories do you want to tell, and I don't mean stories as in doing something, making up something. You have to be authentic. You have to be real. Because you want to develop that know, like, and trust. And Kelly is really good at that. She's very authentic, and she really is honestly a country girl. And so that just fits so perfectly the name of the company that she's with. So what was your question, Russ? I forgot.
So taking that and really getting that image out there, the personal branding.
Oh, yes. Yes. Well,
what you do.
You have to do, yes, making, that's one of the things that I've liked about going to networking events and and even, things like the global tea break, is you never know where those connections might lead, and getting to know people, that's the way to build your business, is to get to know people and put yourself out there and not be shy about it.
Well, and that's how we met, was through the Corvallis Chamber. And when I was active there and on the board, and we met, and then you introduced me to the Monmouth Independence Chamber, where I now live in Independence. And that Chamber of Commerce is growing and very, very involved in the community, a lot of opportunities. And so I encourage people, find that local group. It might be a chamber, it might be another, might be a BNI group, or there are lots of opportunities for people to find ways to intentionally connect with people who also want to connect.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I'll jump in there and say that, I have been blessed to not only be able to connect and be in networking groups with both Miriam and Kelly, but it gives me the opportunity to just take a look at what others are doing. That's one thing I love about things. I always say we're better together, right, ladies? We grow together, we learn together, we learn from each other. And just as we can learn from Kelly on not just insurance, but financial services. Kelly, what do you dabble in both, or do you specialize in one? I know the company does both.
Yeah. So I wear many hats, and our team, as we're growing, we're specializing more and more. So we, as a company, we do everything from, home and auto insurance, farm insurance, business insurance, life insurance, and then the retirement planning sector as well. And so what I specialize in most is the farm and commercial, and the retirement planning. My team handles those other aspects there as well, because those are vitally important to people's lives. But I'm very, very passionate about just making sure that people are positioned well to to conquer what's ahead of them in life and to feel confident with their plans.
Yeah, I think planning is so important, right, Miriam? I think whether you're planning for how you're branding yourself, or whether you're planning for your future financial plans, to make a business really run well, we need to be thinking about where we're going, right? Intentionally.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Well, Miriam,
more to say about that. It's just,
no,
that's true.
Yeah, no, I'll let you take it away. So when you're planning for how you're marketing and image building and branding yourself, besides photography, I know you love marketing as well. So great photos, but what do you do with those then?
Right. Well, of course, social media, people are out there on the various social media platforms, and you need fresh content constantly. So, and that can be a drain when you're a one-person show. You go, how do I put myself out there constantly? I know sometimes you can have some help, get, maybe an assistant that can make sure that you have content fresh out there. But I can give you a body of images to get started with. But I think one of the things that I mentioned storytelling, and I really loved, I got a chance to photograph Kelly, and she really got the whole concept of how do you tell a story with the images, and what stories do I want to tell, and had some great ideas. So it really felt very collaborative when I was photographing Kelly. That was awesome as well. And Russ too. Of course, Russ had so much personality with his, being muddled. So how do you use them? And you just have to keep putting content out there, and don't always worry about it being perfect. But you can do the selfies as part of your mix, and that's fine. Yeah. Just keep it out there and keep it fresh.
I think that's so true. I just want to jump in and say that I think just keeping it fresh and doing something that is attracting attention, right? And when you really show your personality, it makes such a huge difference. So I think, for example, I think you, Miriam, were part of this in my life as well. But when I first started doing my website, I was trying to drive people there and didn't think it was super exciting on the top of my website. And I had you and other people like Charlene Brown, people tell me, you need to get a video like right on top of your website. So whether you're doing photos or video or whatever, show your personality. That was the whole message that I was told, that I have now told so many people. When you show your true personality, it draws people. It shows them, do I want to work with this? Because you need to build that know, like, and trust factor. We've talked about that. And Kelly, when it comes to insurance, people, they've got to trust you, right, to give you their money or their insurance for their life.
Yeah, absolutely. That's a huge component of that, and one reason too why just building a network is so important. And I'm just going to put a shameless plug out there for Miriam. I love working with Miriam. She's done a few different photo sessions for me, and then one recently for my husband and I for just updating our headshots. But I loved that personal branding session, and I will do one again in the future because it was just such a great way to just put out there, like, what we're about, a little bit about, me and what makes me different from our competition, because there's so many different insurance companies and agents that you could go with. And so that was just really wonderful working with her to be able to share a little bit more about, who I am, what I'm about, what do I do outside of work, and how I can, be there for you and your family. And so, yes, absolutely. The trust factor is very important, Russ.
And Kelly, I like that you mentioned that phrase, update your headshot. And I want to have Miriam share a little bit about that, because I have seen people with old headshots. And, if you grow facial hair or remove it or change your hair color or you live life and you get older, that's fair enough, right, Miriam? Tell us
I
about.
hate to say it, I fall victim to the same problem that many people in my age bracket. I really like that headshot from 15 years ago because I was 15 years younger. But no, you really do need to keep it fresh, and so that when people meet you in person, they don't go, they recognize you. You want people to, you walk into a room and they go, oh, there's that, there she is, the person that I've met online or I've been following or whatever. It needs to be fresh. And even though we are getting older, we do make changes, and we need to make sure that it still looks like us.
As they say, there's nothing wrong to getting older, because we're not so excited about the alternative.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. For sure.
Although in the Christian context, maybe we shouldn't be so concerned about the alternative, but.
Well, I love it. Every time that I change my hairstyle, Miriam is right there to tell me I need a new headshot. And next time we're just going to try my head. We're just going to take the head. And, it's funny because years ago, this is totally a squirrel, but years ago, my dad's haircut looked similar to mine. And my sister was working for the morning show on Channel 2 in Portland, AM Northwest. And they did a whole show, and they started off with the 2000 Space Odyssey, the da 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 da, and my dad's head was what they had dark all around it, and they were focused on his head like a planet, and it was very funny. I don't know. Sometimes heads are a good shot.
Oh my gosh!
Yeah, but I want to say this: Miriam is always quick to remind me, and she did a really good job with IMB, who is the sponsor, by the way, of the Experience Local. Independent Merchant Brokers. I love their web page, their personal branding pictures you took where they're all jumping. Sometimes you just got to be goofy. Some of the best shots you took of me in our first session was me just being goofy, just being myself, because it brings out who you really are. And people are afraid. They feel like they have to smile a certain way. And this is why I love selfies, everybody. And I am I am good at it, and I'll tell you why. Because when I put the camera up, and Kelly and Miriam have both been in many, and Scott, I put it up and I start shooting immediately. And this is what Miriam does. I don't wait for people to think and smile and be concerned about what they look like. That is why they turn out well. That is why Miriam's personal branding turns out well, because she doesn't wait for you to think what you're looking like. The best family photo she took of us, we were all looking at each other laughing. It wasn't even a posed shot, really. So, Scott, you were going to say something good.
Go ahead, Miriam.
I just have to jump in that you do have to direct. I think I told you to look at each other because people are going, all right, what should I do? Where should I put my hands? They come into my space and they immediately start. I mean, they're going to be self-conscious. So getting past that and trying to figure out how to create situations that are going to look more spontaneous than maybe they actually were.
Well, and you, Scott, I'll turn it back to you, but you do a great thing of taking people out of your space too, right? Because you had me go to different locations when we did my personal branding. You said, what are you? Who are you? What are you all about? Meeting with somebody in a coffee shop, speaking on a stage, walking through a beautiful, nature. It's just, there were things that you took. And Scott, go ahead. I know you wanted to say something.
I was just thinking of that with Kelly and her business, and we were talking about trust. And, if she had that really, I don't know, stifled picture, I'll call them the department store photographs, right? That where people they just look uncomfortable. And if I'm going to go trust my money, my life, my family's future with Kelly, I don't want her to look like she's nervous or concerned. Kelly, right? Tell us about this.
Yeah. I think definitely that is important when you're considering who to work with too, is just like, can you relate to this person? Are they relatable? Because sometimes, it can be difficult to entrust somebody with your personal information or your finances if you're like, I don't feel like there's any relatability or connection here. And so a photograph certainly can help with that, of like, having like a warm and personable touch when you have someone like Miriam on your team working with you. And yeah, it's just been great for our business as well.
And Kelly, when tell me about driving down the road and seeing your picture on the billboard, and it's like 12 feet high.
Yeah. What do you want to know about that?
What was when you first saw your picture on a billboard? What was it like?
I chuckled because it's kind of like almost this uncomfortable feeling at first. I'm like, oh look, it's my face that's 20 feet large, like this huge billboard. But we've got so much good feedback from it around the community of, I'll be on a walk somewhere or like in the grocery store and someone's like, hey, I saw you on the billboard, you're famous. And so it's just kind of fun, like building that awareness and like just like the personability aspect of it too, of like, it's me, I'm here, I'm local, come and chat with me when your rates go up elsewhere and you're ready to look for insurance, sort of thing.
Yeah. Well, I gotta, first of all, I gotta jump in and be the responsible host because we've run out of time already. But I do want to say that is so funny, that comment and what you were saying, Kelly, because the photo behind me is a life-size picture of me. It's a banner, right? And I take that to book signings and things. When I first had that made, my son said, just like you, Dad, got to have a life-size picture of you for everybody to see, but having yourself 10 times as big. I mean, I've never been on a billboard, so I haven't had that experience, but man, I tell you, but it all boils down to, it draws attention. People see it. And it's one thing that we love about all that we do through the live streaming. It draws attention to all four of us, right? It shows and people hear what we're talking about, and they also see our personalities and what we're doing. And then, all the people that we have that are amazing sponsors, like Miriam sponsors my Marketing with Russ too. Those kind of things bring attention to our business, attention to what we're doing. And we need to pick and choose and be thoughtful and intentional about where our audience is, who's our ideal customer, who we speaking to. And that's where Miriam can help with the personal branding. When you're trying to make sure you're financially stable and you have good insurance, Kelly is the person to go to. Or if you just want to smile, she's the happiest person around. And with that, we're going to wrap things up for today. But I want each of you to give us just kind of your gold nugget of today, what we talked about, what you want people to remember from today's discussion, and then how do people get in touch with you? Kelly, we're going to start with you.
Sure. If you are that person who's been looking around and thinking, I don't really know who I'm working with for my insurance or my financials, or I really could use another pair of eyes to look over that. Someone who's reputable and someone who knows what they're doing and how to best advise me. Come talk with me. I'm here. My services are complimentary to you. I don't charge for my time. And like Russ said, I am very personable and have a smile on my face. So come see us. We'll be happy to take care of you. And the best way to reach me is either look me up online, just Kelly Kapple, Country Financial. I'll pop right up. Or come visit us. Our office is right on Highway 99 in Monmouth. So 355 Pacific Avenue. We are right between Dutch Bros and Napa Auto Parts.
That is so amazing. And I have to do more myself today than normal. So I'm slowly but surely getting that information up there. There we are. Connect with Kelly is right on the screen. It's clickable. It's in the comments. It's in the show notes. And so just want to make sure everybody remembers that it's so easy to get in touch with these two, no matter what you're doing. Okay. And Miriam, you are next. Take it away.
So, okay. Haugensgallery.com is our web address, and it's Haugen, S as in Sam, and gallery is with an I, not a Y. We came up with that before the internet, honestly, and I didn't realize how confusing that would be. So it's Galleri. So that'll take you to our website. You can connect that way. I love to connect with people on LinkedIn too. So would just love to say hi and yeah, connect with me.
Well, I tell you, once again, right there below you, Miriam, and in the comments and the show notes, remember everybody, life is always worth a good conversation. We are better together. You will learn so much from these two. And it's just amazing what you're both up to. And I'm just thankful. I know Scott is too. I'm just thankful for your friendship and for what amazing people you are. Because that's all we have on the show is amazing people like you, because you make Scott and I look better. So we just want to thank you.
We have the most remarkable people on the planet right here on The Experience. And Miriam, it's always fun to hang out with you, and I learn so much. And personal branding is so necessary in today's world. And Kelly, it's just fun to hang out with you in your backyard. What a pleasure.
Glad you could join me.
Yeah, there you go. Well, we are kind of. So, yeah, but with that, we're going to say goodbye to you two and wrap up the show. Hang tight in the green room. We'll talk to you both in just a second, but thank you so much again.
Absolutely. It's been an honor.
Well, what
there you
fun.
Go. I didn't cut her off. I let her say it. There you go.
You did it. Well done.
But yeah, I tell you, Scott, I mean, I wonder sometimes there's people out there, because we're on video here. People wonder, are Scott and Russ really like they portray and really the things they say? And I don't know. I can't speak for myself, but I can speak for Scott and say Scott is 100% the person you see on video is the person that you go to coffee with and you hang out with and you just have fun and do life with. We took walks along the river with friends and talk, and Scott is that guy. So you definitely need to connect with dscottsmith.com.
As Russ says, he's the lifetime connector, and you're connect with Russ and you're going to get WhatsApp messages or text messages or DMs just saying, hey, I'm praying for you. I hope you have a wonderful day. And it's just a blessing to have that. Hey, coming up, speaking of blessing, my wife has her show at noon Eastern time, 9 a.m. here on the Pacific Coast. Aspects of Aging. She's got the comments in here. She's got great guests every week. Experts come and have unscripted conversations. And that show has been growing. Just amazing what the reach is on that. And topics that you would not expect, but just remarkable every week what happens there. And so I encourage people, go to agingbetternetwork.com and you can watch it or go to her LinkedIn profile. And I'm sure those are there in the notes and on the screen.
Yeah. And I just want to second that. I want to say that not only is Scott amazing, but his wife is even more amazing. And that's why Scott's as good as he is, his better half. But Christine is such a sweet and loving person. And it's important when it comes to aging and senior services and all that. I can tell you from firsthand knowledge, there's a lot I've learned in my life, everybody. If you want to know how to go through cancer and battles, I can help you. If you want to know how to survive an almost dying in a horrific accident and rebuilding your life, I can help you. If you want to learn how to rebound from your parents, both passing from cancer and from Alzheimer's, I can help you because people like Christine helped me. So number one, I would say go to the Aging Better Network and connect with Christine, but I'm always happy to talk with you as well. And so is Scott. But I mean, these experiences we have in life, we look back on that and we say, people like Christine are what got me through that, helped me through that, guided me when I had no idea what I was doing. So I just want to highly encourage everybody today to check her out at 9 a.m. Pacific, 12 Eastern. And Scott, with that, I mean, we're way over, but I'm having so much fun. I'm not in a big hurry to leave, but I know you got it. So we better wrap things up.
we better let everyone get out into the beautiful day here in May. And with that, Russ, thanks for hanging out. You're a great friend. And you've got some good shows coming up as well. So remind people about Marketing with Russ at 8 a.m. on Thursday. And then Russ Reels, which is always a lively panel discussion.
And Scott, you're on tomorrow night. It's going to be a best of, and it's an amazing show. And I know that most of you watching did not see it. So it doesn't matter if it's new or best of, because you can still live comment and engage as the show is going on. So you want to be part of that. And Scott will be amazing with our other guests tomorrow. And so 8 a.m. Mondays and Thursdays, Marketing with Russ, 4 p.m. They're all Pacific time is Russ Reels Live. But I want to tell you, we are here every Wednesday, 7 a.m. Pacific Daylight Time for your listening and viewing pleasure, because this does convert to audio podcast. Listen on your favorite iTunes, Spotify, Amazon, whatever. And this show also sits on LinkedIn, Facebook, and YouTube for infinity and beyond. That's right, forever. Right. So you can go back and watch it and share it and tell us you're watching on #replay. We'd love for you to do that.
It's there forever and ever. Thanks to Ever.
Thanks to Ever. Yes. Thanks to who we're missing horribly today, because when Ever's not around, it reminds me how much I need her to do my job. So with that, everybody, we got to wrap things up and say goodbye, but please join us next week, and also join us on the Experience Local, which is 9 a.m. Pacific on Mondays. With that, we're so thankful you're all here with us. I'm excited. God's going to do something amazing today. So get out there, enjoy life, and enjoy
the experience.
Thanks for tuning in to The Experience Live with Russ and Scott. If you enjoyed today's show, please share it with others, post about it on social media, or subscribe on YouTube. See you next time.